Brock, can you kind of take us through when you went down and your level of concern in the immediate aftermath?
Yeah, I mean, I'd never had one before, so, when I got hit, I probably could have, popped up with someone, to grab my arm and pull me up, but I was like, all right, yeah, this is my first time having it. Just based off of what my teammates and guys that I've played with, how they explained the stinger, I was like, this is definitely how I'm feeling, It was on my left side, so I just laid there for a sec, sort of let it, calm down and stuff, and then was able to get up, go to the tent, and then, from there I got better. Literally, as time went on, it just started going away, and that's why I was able to get back in there mid-drive. So.
Did you hear the chants before you down?
Yeah, I did, but at that point, I'm just more concerned about my body and stuff. So that was cool, hearing the support from everybody. That was pretty cool.
Brock, so much has been said about Christian. I don't know if you run out of stuff, but I mean, when it comes to his toughness, he played through the oblique and just as much as he touches the ball, the punishment he takes. I mean, have you learned to appreciate, kind of his ruggedness? Maybe this season, just since you've been around him.
Yeah. I'm the guy that hands him the ball off, and then I turn back and watch, sort of what he does, bouncing off guys, making cuts, twisting off guys when you got all these guys holding on to him. So I just see, the beating that he takes and just his grit to continue to drive his legs and get extra yards and inches, and then goes off to the sideline and he's immediately, using Theraguns and moving his body, just nonstop moving. And so, but we all respect it, man. Like, he's the guy that does it all. And then we put him out in the slot and throw him a ball, and he just does everything. He's smart. And so, like I've said it before, man, we definitely, look up to him and his toughness, and he sets the standard, and we follow his lead.
You're at the point now where you're not surprised when he gets 10 yards on a 5-yard block play and 15 on a 10-yard block play?
Yeah. I mean, when he does it still sort of blows my mind. But at the same time, I'm like, that's Christian. He's done that time and time again. And, to see him continue to do that and then get back in the huddle and then go run a route and catch the ball and have an explosive, it's like, dude, this is crazy. So definitely thankful and blessed to be playing with him.
Brock, what's your case for him? You hit Debo. He's obviously wide open for the touchdown. The next one to McCaffrey, the deep one, he was also very wide open. Is that one where you are trying not to miss him? Like, do you have to, when someone's that open, gauge a little different? Yeah,
I mean, it was, sort of just like a off-schedule play, a bounce out of the pocket, and then I see him go down the field. And at that point, I didn't know, is he going to, continue to run straight? Is he turning to me? And so I just sort of put it up in the air, and, man, he did a good job tracking it down, catching it, and then getting up and scoring. So sort of a tough, moment right then and there of what to do with where the ball should be, but we got it done.
Brock, you just gave a great description of Christian and what he means to the team. What's your case for him to be MVP?
Dude, I think Christian should be MVP. I really do believe that. He does everything for us, runs the ball well, can catch the ball. He does everything, and so in my eyes, that's an MVP.
What do you think when your name's in the conversation?
I mean, I'm honored. But, man, I think, I have a great team, a great team around me and guys willing to make plays and stuff. So I'm trying to do my part and help our team win, and I'm very honored to hear it. But I think we just have an MVP team overall. So,
Rob,
yeah.
could you imagine coming back here for the Fiesta Bowl, winning, coming back here to play against the Cardinals tonight, winning? I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to even think about from where you've come from.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a special game for me. Obviously coming home and stuff, I came back here for the Fiesta Bowl, but that was in COVID, so there wasn't that many people watching, just family and friends. But now to come back and have a whole stadium and it felt like a game that, in high school I'd come and watch the Cardinals and it felt like that. Now I'm playing on that field. It was so cool. So definitely something that I'll look back on in life and be very thankful for.
How many folks you have today?
I don't even know the number. Yeah, I only got tickets just for my family, just because there's so many people in my life, hit me up for all that stuff. It was crazy. So I just stuck with my family, but I know a lot of people in my life that came, and I'm very thankful for them and their support.
Did you have to tell your parents that you were okay right away after the first chance you could? That popped up all right?
Yeah, I haven't talked to them yet. So, but I mean, they saw me go back in that drive and then score a touchdown and stuff. So I'm sure they know I'm good.
Did it feel like business as usual once you got back in there? I mean, you did find Christian in the end zone. It's like, okay, we're back.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to go in there like acting like it was a movie scene and all that stuff happened. It was more about, all right, I'm back in here. Like, let's actually read out the defense. What are we trying to do? And that's what we're trying to do. Just put up points, and saw Christian in the end zone on a play and got it done.
Ross, this team has a big picture in mind, but how do you go about the mindset of just celebrating these milestones along with the NFC West crown?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy, you know, to get caught up on, all right, we have to do this, you know, the big goal, the big picture, and we should always have that in mind. But, man, I think all of us, like, you know, we don't want to just get to the end and miss out on the whole process. You know, we're still trying to enjoy the season, the games, the little moments. I think guys here have played long enough and they understand, you know, how to do that. And then obviously lock in. We're on the team that we're supposed to be playing next, you know, so enjoying the little moments and things like that. But, you know, obviously it's the next game up and we got to win.
This is cheesy, so I apologize in advance, but you said you didn't want it to feel like a movie scene. Does this last year ever feel a little bit like a movie to you?
I mean, if you just look at the whole grand scheme of it, right, being drafted last and all that, I mean, I guess people could start saying stuff about, you know, movies and stuff. But, man, for me, you know, I'm just taking it one day at a time. I'm playing football. I've dreamed of being able to play in the NFL, and I got a great team around me, and that's just where I'm at, and just trying to enjoy every day.
You have a lot of 13 jerseys out there, Harry Puma signs out there.
Yep.
Anything that you want to say to the Valley and just like how special it is to you?
Yeah, I mean, to come home and have everybody, you know, from high school, Perry and Queen Creek, Gilbert, to come to the game and support like they have, and it means everything to me. You know, I've always dreamed of being able to come home and play in front of everybody, and just because of how much I know that they have my back and support me. And so I hope I was able to give him a good game, and I appreciate all that they've done for me in my life.
What was it to watch him do this in front of his family and friends, and then he leaves with the injury, and there's literally Purdy chants echoing throughout the stadium, and you're away?
Yeah, I bet that was real cool for him. I mean, just at the end of the game when, you know, it was there at the end, it was a few scores, and to be able to hear that, it was cool for me to hear it for him. I know he's got a lot of family out here. Didn't even realize it till these last couple of days. You just get caught up in how the week is, but when he told me he had some guys coming, it's always cooler when you can play like that, and you know, especially with the scare with the injury, but to finish the game with people chanting your name in the stands is about as cool as it can get.
Kyle Charvarius has been saying for a few weeks now that, you know, wait till what happens when I turn those deflections into interception. In what ways has he maybe taken his game to another level this year? Like, what have you seen?
I mean, him all week, you know, from his injury last week, just be battling to get back for this game. I was impressed with that. I didn't, you know, I was considering him a long shot early in the week, and he kept saying he wasn't, and then the way he did it, got out there on Friday and was good to go. Was so cool of him. I think he's not hesitating on anything. He's running through the ball. He's getting his hands up. Usually that's the first step in knocking balls down, which he does as good as anyone on the planet right now. And it's cool because he says it, but when you knock that many balls down, running through them, eventually you're going to try to catch a couple. And today was the first time I really saw him try to do that, and he did it early in the game and got that pick six. And then the next one that went to him was just like, looks like they stick to his hands now. So it was cool to kind of do that first one, and hopefully there'll be many more to come.
I know Wishnowski has 20-plus miles an hour on that touchdown return. Does that surprise you? Like, were you surprised at his speed on that return?
No, he can run. He can run, and he hit it like he was running, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
Obviously, you guys were without Armstead and Carter, but what was going on with the left defense?
I mean, I thought, you know, just looking at it live, thought we missed way too many tackles today, which, you know, and give them credit. They got a bunch of guys that are hard to tackle. I mean, obviously their quarterback is as tough as it gets, but they're skill players. You know, they all can run. They're fast. They're back. They got a bunch of guys who create that stuff, but it was disappointing on the missed tackles. You know, always when you add in the running element of a quarterback, that gets some too. But we definitely didn't play the run good enough today, which I think was pretty obvious. But, you know, we came here with one thing on our mind, and that was to get a win. And that's what we got done. And now we got to make sure to clean that stuff up.
Brock and Christian have both been mentioned highly in the MVP conversations. I know you addressed that last week. Your thoughts on those two elite players and how you differentiate?
I don't have to differentiate, thank goodness. But, I mean, there's been around a couple MVPs probably in my career, and these two are it's the most obvious thing to me. I mean, obviously I might be biased being on their team, but I don't think so. Just got to, like I said last week, all you got to do is look at numbers, or you got to look at the film. And whichever one you say is more important to you, I think it's extremely obvious. And if they're both important to you, then you should make it even that much stronger. But those guys are playing pretty good.
Coach, defense did get some good pressure, sort of stood up, gave them field goals and not touchdowns. What can you say about the defense and how it played, and was it particularly speaking to your defensive coordinator, because it's something of a homecoming for him too?
It's funny because I didn't think about that, so you just said that. So maybe you'd have to ask him. But it's you know, we talked about it a lot all week. They have too many good players. They run a really good scheme. There was going to be times that they got us, without a doubt. And our whole deal was when they get us, you just don't stop, hold them to field goals, and we feel we can survive the day. And I think we did that for the most part. Not to mention we got a pick six, which was huge. And I know the stat board doesn't look great, but our defense was a big reason why we won today too.
Last one, guys.
Christian, I think this maybe 4 or 5 snaps on the same drive where Purdy got hurt. He was feeling his knee and everything. Were you aware of what was going on? I mean, it's unusual for him to miss more than 1 snap at a time. What was happening?
Yeah, I always know when he's on the field and not.
Right.
Yeah.
But did you know he was possibly dealing with an injury?
Yeah, I do. I did.
How did that make you feel?
I mean, I wasn't excited, but I mean, when there's a play clock going and you got to call plays, there's not that much time to think about it. You just want to know when he's out, and I think he took a few off. And sometimes when he takes a couple off to rest something, and it's never that he can't go back in. You know, he wants to go back in. It's just we're kind of patient depending on what we're doing and trying our hardest to give other people opportunities, but it's extremely hard to do that with him.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.